Hello, Elimination. We start this program with something to help you get a handle on your health. Support comes from Brickhouse Whey Protein. Now, I've tried plenty of protein powders over the years, and honestly, most of them didn't do squat. No extra muscle, no more energy, no better workouts, just chalky shakes and disappointment. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition explained why. Poor quality protein and cheap fillers like maltodextrin, soy, corn syrup, sodium, and cellulose. That's why they created Brickhouse Whey, bioengineered by doctors, not marketers. This is real science you can feel working. It's clean, highly bioavailable, delivers protein level muscle growth, a leaner physique, rapid recovery, and zero bloating because it's lactose free. Now, if you've been sabotaged by junk protein, switch to Brickhouse Whey. Guaranteed results or your money back. So go to thenewwhey.com and use the promo code LEMON for 20% off. That's promo code LEMON at thenewwhey.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. And look what we have here. We have Angie Pumps Sullivan from the I've Had It podcast. Angie, look at this, Pumps. Uh-oh, I'm messing up my thing. I'm here and I'm performing tonight. I'm on stage. I'll be live all over the world and in front of this crowd.
City Winery is amazing. You're going to be awesome. You're great live. You're great always. But
I know, but you know what? Thank you, Pumps, for joining us. But, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm used to being live, but not like in a venue like this. It's like doing a Broadway play or like I'm doing stand-up or, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And
but don't you have a pretty great partner to help?
Yes, I do. I have DL Hughley. And if you let's show it. So wait, is this too much shadow on me? Because I want to wear my merch. We're going to be selling merch tonight. And I got check out my shirt. Do you guys see my new?
I can't see your shirt.
There we go.
I'm watching Lemon Live.
I'm a lemon head. I'm watching Lemon Live at 5, and I'm a lemon head. Too much of a shadow, or is it okay?
I like it.
Okay, good. So thanks so much. So guys, here it is, City Winery. You can put it up for us, Nikki. This is tonight. It is sold out tonight. Okay, so maybe if you came, maybe there's a waiting list. You can get in at the door. But tomorrow night, we are, it's not sold out, but it's getting close to being sold out. So you got to get your tickets. And we have some very special surprise guests that you won't believe. You're going to be really upset if you miss it. Right, guys? Yeah. All the guys are here. So people are starting, all the social media folks are here. It's a really fun thing that we do. So come join us. City Winery, New York City. Google it. Go on donlemon.com. You can find out where it is. And yeah, we'll be here tonight. So shall we get into the news? Angie Pumps Sullivan.
Yes, it's crazy. Like every day I wake up and I think, can this really be happening? But it is.
Yeah, it is happening. So let's go through it. I want to talk to you guys about it's disturbing what's happening on the streets of America. You have a city, well, DC is not technically a city, but you guys know what I mean, that's being taken over, or at least they're putting military people on the streets, the National Guard in Washington, DC. You know, they did it in Los Angeles. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to start with, do you remember what happened when the jobs numbers came out last week or a week or two ago, and he didn't like him? He didn't like those numbers. He fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? And now the person that he has put in charge is now saying, you know what? I don't know if we need to put out this data anymore. I don't even know if it's worth it. How are we going to know what's real and what's not? Suspending jobs reports. What is this? Are we in communist Soviet Russia? Like, what is happening here?
I think we are. This is authoritarianism straight down the line. Fascism has arrived. The problem is Trump is not as smart or as like a Vladimir Putin. And he appoints these people. Now, this guy that he's appointing, from what I've read, he has never taken statistics. Like, he's not a statistical economist. And he did Project 2025, Project 2025 that Trump never heard of. He did part of their economic plan. And I'm like, I almost think he's going to lie about the jobs numbers. So is it better to not have job numbers or have jobs numbers that are lies? Because there's no question they're going to mess with the data to please their guy.
Yeah. Well, and you have Caroline Leavitt, the White House PR flack out there defending it. This is her today. A reporter asked her about, suspending jobs numbers. What is this? Is this nuts? Why are you doing it? This is her lunatic response.
I think he floated the idea of possibly suspending until they can get the data and the methodology in order. And this president wants to ensure that the BLS, again, is putting out accurate and honest data that the American people can trust. Since you brought up the new commissioner, he holds a master's and doctor's degree in economics from Northern Illinois University. He's the chief economist in the Heritage Foundation's Center for the Federal Budget. And in addition to his work at Heritage, he has multiple other roles. He's been widely renowned for his work on economic issues.
Lord.
He's been called before Congress to testify as an economic expert. So he's a qualified individual, and the president trusts him to lead this important department.
Anytime you have to do that and say, he's done this, he's been called to Congress, he's do that. The Heritage Foundation, that is a partisan hack organization. They're going to go along with this, and they'll probably do it. What do you think that means for us?
Well, I think that, I keep saying this over and over. People are probably tired of me hearing about it, but the enablers in Congress, the enablers that, he's a nut. He's always surrounded himself with lies and people like the value of Mar-a-Lago, the value, how big his townhouse is in New York, all that stuff. Been found guilty of fraud. He has no problem with it. The people that are allowing it, the people that are going to look at our economy and say, we don't give a shit, we want to please him, that are going to just swallow this. That's the problem. And there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Look, it's no shade to Northern Illinois University, but
right.
That's shady, by the way. South Carolina to DC, SC to DC, that's shady in itself. But come on, I was going to say, he holds a degree from, Columbia University or, some fantastic business school. But as you said, I think his resume is lacking. So, of course, she has to get out to defend it. This reminds me of, because if you're not going to put these numbers out, then they can finagle it, as you said, Pumps, to whatever it is that they want, which is ridiculous. How are we going to know the health of our economy, the health of the job market, where industries are lacking in getting workers, or what industries are thriving and what we should be moving towards? If you get rid of these people with institutional knowledge and who keep us in the know and keep us being, people always like to talk about America first, to keep us being first in innovation, how are you going to know? This is like, I don't know if you remember during 2020 when Donald Trump said this asinine thing with a straight face, and he probably still thinks it's smart, but I'm going to play this, make sure we play it from the beginning, Nikki, so that people can hear it. This is the same kind of dumb logic. Here it is.
If you don't test, you don't have any cases. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any.
Yeah.
If you stop testing for COVID, you'd have very few cases, if any. Nikki said, I won't say which family members, but she said one of her family members says if he doesn't test for, or she, I won't say, for diabetes, then therefore his diabetes doesn't exist.
It's just asinine. It's just completely asinine. This is also the person that said inject bleach. So I have no doubt.
Disinfectant.
Yeah, he is a nut again, but he surrounds himself with people that won't tell him the truth. And he doesn't want to hear the truth, so he's going to lie. And in terms of people, how are we going to stay first in innovation? Our research scientists and the smartest people in the United States are going to Europe. They're going to other countries because the funding has been cut off because he wants everybody to toe the line. It's unbelievable. The American brand is going to be set back for decades, hopefully not generations, but I can't imagine that it won't, because we have Americans that don't believe in science. And we have a guy that thinks we don't need job numbers, or only need job numbers that tell us how great he is.
Yeah. But I don't understand how the folks who don't see through it can't, or it's just willful ignorance, I believe. Okay, let's talk about what's happening in an American city, which is, it should be concerning for us. Now, here's the thing that we both know, Pumps. We've been around for a while. We're people of a certain age. We're all over 30 and under 40. So, but we've been around. We know that cities have had crime problems since there were cities, right? Mm-hmm. There's no way that you can wipe out all of the crime. In order to fight crime and do it effectively, you have to understand the underlying circumstances to it. You have to figure out what is going on, the health of the economy. If we don't know the jobs numbers, how are we going to know? People, when they're in desperate situations, when the economy is not good, crime tends to go up, right? Because people are in need. There was a fascinating conversation that I saw this morning on Morning Joe with Simone Sanders and Joe Scarborough, trying to explain, they're having a conversation about more officers or military or members of the National Guard being on Washington, D.C. streets. And Joe Scarborough was saying, hey, look, this is probably a good thing. I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying, everybody's not mad about this. And it's true. Everybody's not mad about it. But the conversation that they had was very revealing to me about the two separate worlds that we live in this country. Here's Simone and Joe Scarborough.
You don't think more police make streets safer?
No, Joe, I'm a black woman in America. I do not always think that more police make streets safer. When you walk down the streets of Georgetown, you don't see a police officer on every corner, but you don't feel unsafe. So what is it about talking about places like Southeast D.C., right? Ward 8, if you will, that people say, well, we need more officers to make us safe. I think we have to rethink what safety means in America.
And they went on, and he went on to say, well, this is not about race. And my thing was, go ahead. What'd you say?
It is about race, because it is. You can look at the numbers, look at Derek Chauvin, look at all the police, like Breonna Taylor. There's just incident after incident where police use excessive force with African Americans. And I'm assuming now that extends to the brown community also, but it is documented for years about police brutality and discrimination against Black people. And I have never had to deal with that because I am white. But I know people in my life, someone that I loved very, very much, Black, he had since been murdered due to gun violence, but that's a different story. He told us, as a Black kid in America, there are different rules. He has to behave differently with the police. The police did not make him feel safe. And that is what is going on here. I believe it is racially motivated, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, even that, look, point well taken about what you said. But I also think now, this person in the chat, Black Diamonds and Pearls, has it right. Black cities, Black mayors. So this is all about race. He's choosing Black cities. He's choosing blue cities, right? First, it's partisan. Second, it's racist, because he wants to seize control of those cities. He doesn't like it. She has a Black mayor. She is defiant. She doesn't necessarily follow what he says, but she's very classy about it, and she's walking a line. Okay, we're talking about Mayor Muriel Bowser here. So we understand that. And then he now is saying, we're going to target Baltimore. And then he did to what he did in Los Angeles, right? He wants to do it to blue cities and cities with large African-American populations, but also for the midterm elections, he wants to be able to be in control in some way of those cities, so that I believe that they can steal elections, that he will have somewhat control over people going out, perhaps over the election systems. I don't know how this would work, but maybe even some of the voting systems. We all know something weird happened in 2024. I'm just saying, we have to get to the bottom of that. But I think it's just Black cities. He doesn't understand, the history of this country. And he thinks that pretty much everyone grew up like him with a silver spoon in his mouth, or gold in his case.
Yeah, gold potties. I think fundamentally he doesn't understand, but even if he did understand, he wouldn't care. His administration doesn't care. They are racist. They don't try to hide it. The fact that it's all blue cities with Black mayors. I mean, we had Susan Rice on yesterday on our Substack, and she was an ambassador to the United Nations. She knows.
I know her very well. And
she is so smart. And she said, you look around, it's Black cities with Black mayors, which I know you had a viewer, but it struck me at that point. I was like, as incompetent as I think he is, I think that Stephen Miller is extremely craven and competent in his ambitions. I don't think Trump dreamed this up. I think this is a Project 2025 Stephen Miller special. And I think 100% it's blue cities, Black mayors, Black neighborhoods.
Yeah. Eddie Glaude Jr. also on MSNBC, having a similar conversation as we're having now, Pumps. Here it is.
Chris, to be honest with you, I'm trying to hold my temper. I think there's an ongoing argument that he's having in his head with Black Lives Matter. There's an ongoing argument that he's having with the questions around criminal justice reform and police reform. It's interesting that he really doesn't really care about what's actually happening in D.C. on a certain level, because he's not trying to get at the underlying root causes. He's not looking at examples of how to address rising crime rates that doesn't require a form of policing that leads to increased incarcerality and the like. Let's look at what's going on in Baltimore. Let's look at what's happening actually in places like Baltimore and Chicago, right? So part of what we have to do is to understand. And Oakland, we have to understand this, Chris, within the context of Donald Trump's racial politics and within the context of his effort to get Epstein off the front pages. I understand David's point, but when we try to treat this as a rational response, then we lose sight of the actual politics that's being played here. And he's actually trying to give his base red meat to get them off of the Epstein story, and it's on the backs of citizens in Washington, D.C. He's going to undermine the democratic process in the district. And so I understand what David is trying to say, but we need to be clear about what Donald Trump is doing.
Thank you. And I do believe this is Epstein derangement syndrome. It's Epstein. He just wants to change it. That's also part of the equation. But also, you remember what he did with the Central Park Five? For some reason, for some reason, he has this hang up. And what do you call that? I think there's a word for that's called fucking racist, maybe.
Right. Well, and here's the thing, too. When you're talking about this, he's trying to distract from Epstein. What he doesn't realize is that the overwhelming people, like the overwhelming majority of people, not the MAGA people, they get it. They're able to look at crime statistics and say, Washington, D.C. is at a 30-year low. Memphis, when you Google it, it's number one. But Fox.
Oh, no, but Memphis, it's red. No. You can't.
No, he would never go into Memphis. It's a red state.
Yeah.
But the Fox News viewer, they like it. They like the racism. They like to target blue cities because then they can own the libs. They don't give a shit that people will be hurt. They don't give a shit that people's constitutional rights are violated. They like it. It makes them feel good. So the fact that DC is not even in the top 25 of violent cities, they will never know that. And even if they did, they would not care. And that's the problem.
Well, and they don't care. And you heard what Eddie Glaude says. They don't care about the underlying situation, what's actually causing a lot of this. And I'm going to prove to you that they don't care. You're going to hear from someone who actually says, I don't care. Okay. But first, a word from our sponsors. Support for the show comes from Delete Me. We live in a world where your personal data is a commodity. Your name, your phone number, your social security number, your address, even your family members' information. It's all being bought and sold online without you even knowing. So that opens the door to identity theft, to phishing, harassment, even worse. As someone with a public profile, I take privacy very seriously. I have seen friends harassed and doxxed. Once that happens, you can't unring that bell. That's why I use Delete Me. They make it easy, quick, safe to remove your private information from the web. And right now, you can get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting Don to 64000. That's Don to 64000. Protect your data and your peace of mind, and message and data rates may apply. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. These days, there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, detoxes. But how do you know what exactly works for you? So when I started therapy, it cut through the noise. It helped me to see things that I did not even know. I had someone listening, guiding, and helping me figure out the next steps. BetterHelp offers over 30,000 therapists and has helped over 5 million people worldwide. It's easy. You can connect with a therapist at the click of a button, switch anytime, and fit sessions into your schedule. It's got a 4.9 star rating out of 5 in the App Store, so it works. So find out what could work for you. Our listeners get 10% off of their first month at betterhelp.com/DonLemon. That's betterhelp.com/DonLemon. Your mental health
is worth it.
Yes, it is. And thank you to our sponsors. Oh my gosh, who is that?
This is Matilda Denise.
Talk about helping your mental health. Oh my.
Isn't
Come
she
on.
cute? I named her after Jennifer. I call her Tilly D.
Oh my God. Is that an English bulldog?
French.
It's a French bulldog.
Yeah. So sweet.
What's it again?
She's
Matilda
snoring.
Denise?
Huh?
She's snoring right now?
Yeah, she's snoring. That's why I'm trying to move her around.
Let's see it. Put her little face up there. We want people to see it.
Say hi, Matilda.
Oh my gosh. How old?
She is 13 weeks.
And she can't she won't sleep unless there's a certain cardboard cutout near her. Is that
That's
correct?
right. Don
Yeah.
Lemon. Right here.
This is her. I'm her babysitter.
I love me some Don Lemon. I keep it in my bedroom. I keep him close.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. No wonder you're single.
No shit. I've got a bed full of French bulldogs. I have a 1-year-old boy sitting here looking at me.
Cutie pie, cutie patootie. Okay, so remember I said they don't care, and the proof is that they don't care. Well, I'll just let Judge Janine Pirro tell you. Here she is.
Prosecutors. You just walked through the changes you'd like to see from the punitive aspects. What about preventative? Do you or the president plan to do anything to address the root causes of crime in D.C., such as truancy?
My job is to try to heal the victims and prosecute the criminal. Everybody else can deal with rehabilitating the individual. I honestly am not concerned about why they commit crimes. My concern is if they commit crimes. My concern is the victims of the crimes. That's my job as a U.S. attorney. Go ahead.
But just follow up on that quickly.
Is a felony one. And
Palms?
Okay. Number one, to say she doesn't care about rehabilitating the criminal. Okay, first of all, isn't that the whole purpose of incarceration? I know there's a punitive component, but the overarching criminal justice goal is rehabilitation. And I care about the victims too, but do not stand there in the Trump administration and act like you give a flying frog's fat ass about the victims when he is saying, oh, it's a joke. Or Epstein's a hoax. Ghislaine Maxwell gets work release. I mean, they could give two shits about the victim. What they give a shit about is punishment because they like it. And they don't just like, rounding people up and putting them in concentration camps. They like the torture. And then they post it on social media and it's like porn for them. It's gross. I mean, what is history going to say about us, this generation? I mean, I'm enraged by that. I had not seen that.
It's supposed to be about rehabilitation. It's supposed to be about restitution, but it is not. For someone like her, where she's just heartless about it, yeah, that should be part of her job. That should be part of her job, is to figure out how to prevent it, because then, well, maybe she wouldn't have a job, but if they could actually prevent all of it. But yeah, that should be part of it. And it just shows to me just how heartless this entire administration is. Now, this is something that she said yesterday, and I said, I wonder if her boss heard this. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to see if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill. I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the DC Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens, and it starts today. But it's not.
Okay, she can't touch children.
She's mad. She can't beat up children.
She said she can't touch children. I was like, wait a minute. Does she know the whole reason? One of the reasons that they're doing this is to get the attention off of the possibility of touching, You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I mean, here's the thing. This is the same party that wants to, move the law to allow 12-year-olds to get married. It's the same people that want them to work. I mean, these people do not give a shit about children. And I just have one thing to say. Janine, Donald Trump got cash bail 3 times. I mean, I'm sorry, no cash bail 3 times. So please do not stand up there and talk about victims and, the judicial system, how it's failed people. Donald Trump is the biggest failure of them all. And if you don't like the law, lobby for changes, but you are not the law. It's this whole, they're conflating what the prosecutor does, what the judge does, what the jury's job is, kind of like executive branch, legislative branch, judiciary. I mean, it's all just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is all just crazy to me. But here we are, and you can call this crazy town. That's where we are right now. Look, I want to talk about, again, more about folks being out on the streets, okay? Because Tim Miller has been really going hard on, the masked agents out there who are rounding up people with no due process. And I think he has every right to be doing it. Here he is talking about, I think he's on the Piers Morgan show, which is, and I think it's with Dean Cain, who the Fat Superman.
Yeah, Fat Superman.
Yeah, Fat Superman. And I think they're discussing, just how hard these agents have it and why they should be wearing masks. Here it is.
Doxed left, right, and center on social media and having their lives
This is bullshit.
They're being doxed left, right, and center on social media and having their lives threatened.
Of course they are. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. For starters, we have evidence ICE agents are being trained. It is. Really quick. Let's go back to George Redis. He arrived at work. He was a U.S. citizen. ICE agents surrounded his car. He identified himself as a U.S. citizen. They broke his window, pepper sprayed him, and dragged him out. He's in detention for 3 days. So we do have evidence that they're not being trained to respect people's rights. And on the masks, this is crazy. Do you know how many judges have been threatened? If you're a judge and you have, if there's a case that is happening, you're a prosecutor, and you're targeting a murder suspect, these guys have been threatened. There have been judges whose families have been threatened. Their lives have been threatened. There are a lot of people in public life who have been threatened. You still don't get to wear a mask and be a secret judge. Not in a free country. You don't. I'm sure you get threatened. I'm sorry. If you're an agent of the government, if you're a representative of the people, you need to show your face and name yourself so that you have accountability.
Yeah. I think he's 100% right. That they get some sort of special dispensation. Look, we're both in the public eye. We don't get to wear masks, and we are, things happen to us. Unfortunately, we have to be safe. We have to have our heads on a swivel. If that's a job you're going to take, then be man enough to stand up and be a public servant and show your face. And unless they're just embarrassed about the jobs that they're doing.
Well, and here's the deal, too. It goes all through me when he's talking. Donald Trump threatens people all the time. Every judge on a case, except for Judge Aileen Cannon, he made threats to. So do not sit there and act like, oh, these people need a special bonus, because other people in this movement are going up without being ICE agents. You have to identify yourself and who you are with. It is inexcusable. And I agree with you. If you can't identify yourself, you should not be in a position of authority. If you cannot stand behind and stand up and say, this is what I'm doing as a cop. I mean, it's unbelievable how the Constitution has just been balled up and thrown away.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I want you to watch one more thing with me that I'm going to play but in a moment. But first, I just want to get a word in from our sponsors.
Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from ZBiotics. I have to tell you about this game changer for me on nights out. It's called ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol. It is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic created by PhD scientists to help you feel better the next morning after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, your body creates a toxic byproduct in your gut. That is what causes rough mornings. ZBiotics produces an enzyme that breaks it all down for you. Now, I first tried it before a summer dinner party, and the next morning, I was sharp, I was energized, I was ready for work, okay? So make it your first drink of the night, enjoy responsibly, and wake up ready to live your day, your best life. So go to zbiotics.com/lemon. You get 15% off of your first order with the code LEMON. It's backed by a 100% money back guarantee. zbiotics.com/lemon, code word LEMON. Support for this show comes from Shopify. You know, this all started as a dream, and Shopify turned this into a business for me. So Shopify is the commerce platform powering millions of businesses and 10% of all U.S. e-commerce, from household names to brand new ventures. So we use Shopify here at the Don Lemon Show to bring you the merch that we love. It's got beautiful templates, AI tools to help with product descriptions, and even marketing campaigns. So if you're stuck, 24/7, award-winning customer support there to help you. So here's what you do. You turn your dreams into with Shopify. Sign up for $1 per month trial today at shopify.com. That's shopify.com/lemon. Go to shopify.com/lemon. 1 month, $1 for our members to start with. Okay? Shopify.com/lemon. Thanks to all of our sponsors.
Absolutely. We love having our sponsors. Okay, so I want you to imagine this, all right? I think there's like 900, almost 1,000 agents out there in Washington, D.C. I think they've made like 23 arrests with so many people. Imagine how much that's costing the taxpayers.
Right.
Because remember, Washington, D.C. is a district. It's not a city. So every year they have to go in front of Congress. They get federal funding, blah, 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 blah. We're paying for this, okay? So you're sitting on your stoop. You're having a smoke, cigarette, a vape, or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden someone basically comes up and says, show me your papers. Show me your identification. What are you doing out here? All right. So I'm wondering what you would do, what the folks at home would do. But here's what happened. This is one man, black man, sitting on his stoop, being harassed by, I believe it's the National Guard or some kind of police officers, some members of law enforcement, about sitting in his own steps. Here it is.
How y'all doing today? Y'all staying in that trouble? You got your ID on you, chick?
Well, no, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out?
No.
Right. You don't follow like Code 3, anything like that people are putting up? What's up? All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together, 7 days of going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. Right? So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law.
You can't smoke or drink in public.
Right? And then there's other stuff going on where it turns into there's multiple agencies of somebody, there's shooting and things like that. So there's extra hands available, right? So we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joint or something like that, all right?
Yeah.
I only asked because when you walked up, at the moment you walked up, you only had eggs.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand, and I didn't flash right you, so I didn't realize it was just a cigarette. So that's on me. I appreciate you understanding and not getting chipped.
Yeah.
All right, so just know, right? Learn, teach, tell your boys, like, yo.
Yeah. Okay.
Out.
They messed with the right one right there. We can
so.
pause it. They messed with the right one right there, because I'd say, like, could you please get off my property?
Yeah.
You have no authority to be here. Get off my property, or I'm going to actually call law enforcement to report you, and then I'm going to get in touch with my attorney. But they mess with and you are an attorney. I'm sitting in my yard. You have no probable cause. And also, if you're in New York and in certain places, marijuana is legal.
Right.
You can't smoke a cigarette or outside. What is, you can't drink outside? Now, I know you can't be walking down the street in some places carrying alcohol, but in New Orleans, where I came from, you can do whatever you want, but go on.
Here's my thing. It's unbelievable to me that they never identified themselves. Hi, I'm Angie. I'm with the Department of Homeland Security. We're conducting these checks. There was no explanation. And it surprises me zero. It was a black man. Zero. Because here's the deal. If I was sitting out there smoking, they wouldn't say a word to me because I'm white. And it's all of this. I keep going back to it. It's racially motivated. And that gives me chills. Somebody is sitting on their step. Like, I would get belligerent, but I don't have the concerns that a Black person has. And it's sad. It's sad to me in our country, in our nation's capital, you cannot sit on your porch and enjoy a smoke, because I smoked for 20 years and I loved it. And I was outside on my porch a lot. And it's absolutely so disturbing that they didn't identify, at least they didn't have on masks. But this guy handled it correctly. A lot of people will be like, get off my property. What would he have done if he would have gotten belligerent? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, I would have probably been incensed. And to think about, look, I have smokers in my family. They don't smoke in the house. They'll go out in front. I live in New York City. You got to go outside, down the elevator, smoke outside. Now, if they, came and got my mom or my cousin or my sister I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? There'd be a huge lawsuit. Yeah. And it is harassment. Aretha, who's in the chat, it is harassment. And by the way, Pumps is a lawyer, so she knows. So Pumps, this is the end of the road for us for now, because
I'm so sad.
Look at this. I'm getting ready. I'm going to show you guys what's happening here at the City Winery. They're preparing for us. The doors open at 6 o'clock. We're getting ready. And look, and check this out up on the screen right here. You guys can see this. There we go.
I love it. It's going to be such a good show. Such a good show.
We were so surprised last time of how good a show. Look at that. All the folks are going to be people up in the balcony. It's going to be fun. And so tonight is sold out, but you'll get tickets tomorrow night. I want to tell you guys so badly who our surprise guest is, but I can't, because I'm going to ruin it. I can't tell you.
I'm in Oklahoma. I'm safe.
No. I love you.
I love you. Thank you for having me. Bye,
Absolutely.
Peter. Bye, Nikki.
Oh, wait, make sure you go check out the I've Had It podcast. Also, not just that, she is a prolific best-selling author of the book, Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches, and a dear friend of our show, Angie Pumps Sullivan. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
All right.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to be here tonight at City Winery. Tomorrow, if you want to, you can get tickets. Tonight is sold out, but anyways, so go check it out. DL and DL, episode 2, City Winery. You can go to our website, or you can go Google it online and check out at citywinery.com. Get your tickets here for tomorrow night. Okay, so here's what I always tell you. Oh, by the way, check out our merch. I got some new stuff. Let me show you some of this stuff. I got some new stuff that I just got. I got this one. I got the hat. I don't know tell me which one should I wear tonight. Should I wear this one that says, what do you guys think? Turn the TV off. You like that one? That one's pretty cool. And then I have the one that I wore this morning, which is a little wrinkly. We got that one. Don Lemon Show. Is that one up there? And then we have the old standby this is one of my favorites, right? We got Lemon Live. And then what else? Here, I got more crap in here. Oh, we got this one. Finally got some of my own merch that we are going to be selling. So here it is. That one. I love this one. I think I'm going to wear that one tonight, maybe. Which one should I wear tonight? The blue one or this one? Or the black one? Let me know. I wore the black one last time. Okay, guys. We'll see you soon. Oh, there's my mom right there. See her in the corner right here, waving under the things. Say hi, Mom. Hi. She's getting ready for tonight. Okay, until I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for Hot Topics, turn the TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.